Hello friends and welcome to Parks Crafty Creations. I'm your host Brian Parks. Today we're diving into one of the most useful presser feet you can have in your sewing toolkit, the walking foot. Whether you're quilting, sewing slippery fabrics, or working with multiple layers, this tool is a must-have. I'll show you exactly how to use one, share tips for getting the best results, and give you my honest review of the Madame Sew walking foot. Before we get started, if you enjoy this content, be sure to give us a like below, as it really does help out the channel. Do it now please, and if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell icon so you'll always be notified whenever a new video drops. And hey, if you love what we do here, don't forget to share us with your friends. I touched on the walking foot a little bit in one of my very first videos. 5 presser feet every sewist should have in their collection. And if you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put a card up above and a link down below in the description so you can check it out. But this presser foot deserves a more in-depth look than what was covered in that video. So what is a walking foot anyways? And why do you need one? They can be expensive, they're bulky, they're noisy, they're a pain to put on and take off of your machine, and they're limited in maneuverability. And yet they're one of my favorite presser feet for some very good reasons that far outweigh the negatives. Unlike a regular presser foot, a walking foot has built-in feed dogs that can help move the fabric evenly from both the top and bottom. This prevents shifting, puckering, and misalignment, especially useful for thick fabrics, quilting, and stretchy or slippery materials. If you've ever struggled with uneven stitches, a walking foot might just be your new best friend. Like I said, they can be a bit of a pain to put on and take off of your machine, so let's get started by taking a look at how to install one. First, remove your regular presser foot and unscrew the ankle so you're left with just your shank. I always do my best to not let the screw that holds the ankle fall out, since it can be a hassle to screw back in. Align the walking foot so the screw rests in the notch of the presser foot, and the arm rests on the needle bar. Then tighten the screw. Make sure it's good and secure before you start sewing, but don't over tighten. And with that, you're ready to go. Now that we have it installed, here are some tips to help you get the best results. Use a longer stitch length. Walking feet generally work best with stitches around 2.5 to 3 millimeters long. Go slow and steady. The foot moves a little differently, so a moderate or even slower speed helps maintain even stitching. Remember, this isn't a race to the finish line. There's no prize for who can put down a row of stitches the fastest. And it's far more impressive to get a perfectly straight line of stitches anyways. Test on scrap fabric first. Different fabrics react differently, so a quick test will bring to light any adjustments that you might need to make in your settings. Pair with quilting guides. If you're quilting, some walking feet come with guides that help keep your stitching lines straight. They exist for a reason. Use them. And finally, don't force the fabric. Let the walking foot do the work. It's designed to move the layers evenly without needing extra pressure. So relax and watch those little feet work their magic. Let's talk about the Madame Sew walking foot. Recently, I attended the original Sewing and Quilt Expo in Lakeland, Florida. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll link it down below. While I was there, a friend recommended I try out the Madame Sew line of presser feet. Coincidentally, they were having a site-wide sale, and I was intrigued by the open-toe design of their walking foot. So I decided to grab one for myself, and one as an early birthday present for my mom. This walking foot is designed to fit most low shank sewing machines, and comes with a quilting guide, which is a nice bonus. But of course, I have some thoughts. When I unboxed it, my first reaction was, well, it looked like any other walking foot I've used before. The feed dogs didn't feel particularly aggressive, which can be good or bad depending on your fabric. But after closer inspection, I realized they were identical to my Singer branded walking foot that came with my Quantum stylus. Then I inserted the quilting guide. I slid the guide in, and it fell right back out. No tension, no grip. Just slid straight through. If you're like me and use a quilting guide to create even lines for quilted squares or diamonds, This is a big problem. Strike one. Now I get that this isn't the most expensive walking foot on the market, but if a brand is going to put its name on a product, it should at least represent them well. This wasn't doing that, and I was surprised. So I opened the one I bought for my mom to see if maybe I just got a dud. Nope. Same issue. I then tried to see if there was a way to increase the tension on the guide, and that's when things took another turn. As I tried to find a way to adjust it, the entire outer shell popped right off. No joke. The whole thing just snapped off in my hand. Strike two. Now, to be fair, it did snap right back on, so it wasn't a total deal breaker. But at this point, I was seriously considering a return. I was so unimpressed that I didn't even bother testing it on my machine right away. Instead, I took it to my mom's house to get her opinion. I didn't tell her anything about my experience. I wanted a completely unbiased opinion. We installed it on her machine, and she used it to sew one of the iron caddies we sell on our Etsy shop. I was fully expecting it to misalign, slip, or cause some other headache. She loved it. It worked beautifully. No slippage, no issues. The needle, while slightly off-center, actually aligned perfectly with the red guideline on the foot, making it easy to follow the stitch lines. Plus, the open-toe design gave her better visibility, something she's always struggled with using the Singer walking foot, which was actually more misaligned. This was a huge improvement for her. At this point, I had to try it myself. And honestly, I really liked it. So much so that it's now my go-to walking foot, officially replacing my OEM Singer foot. But what about the quilting guide? Yeah, it shouldn't be that loose. But here's the thing. After some digging, I found out this is actually a pretty common quirk across many brands. I just hadn't run into it before. Luckily, the fix is ridiculously easy. Just wrap a little piece of masking tape around the guide's bar, and boom, problem solved. Now, does this make or break the walking foot for me? Not at all. It performs really well, and that's what matters the most. But it's definitely something to keep in mind, especially if you're paying top dollar. So is the Madame So walking foot worth it? Well, that depends on the price. At its full MSRP of $49.99, I'd say no. But snagging it on sale for $24.99? Absolutely. Just know it comes with a couple of quirks. I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried this foot? What was your experience? Drop a comment and let's chat. That about does it. Everything you need to know about using a walking foot. Whether you're quilting, sewing thick fabrics, or just looking for more even stitches, a walking foot is a fantastic tool to have. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell icon so you'll always be notified whenever a new video drops. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian Parks for Parks Crafty Creations, and as always, we'll see you next time.